Welcome to the Interpoint series of lessons by our authors and experts on really going within and learning to live a better life. I'm really excited today. We have Rajashree Choudhury here, and my name is Michael Harris, and I'll be guiding you through the conversation with Rajashree. I've known Rajashree since 1998 when I went to Yoga College of India teacher training, and she was one of my primary teachers. But I've always loved her from, deep into my heart. Rajashree's taught and instructed for about 35 years. I think I got that right. And his
Right.
practice, this is probably going to give your age away, Rajashree, but it's practice. You practiced 53 years since the age of
That's true.
4. And you really started at the urging of your mom. You were at one point 5-time national India yoga champion. You were a former Mrs. India. I mean, it just goes on and on. You're not only a yoga instructor, you're also a therapist and a writer and philanthropist and really an ardent advocate of yoga. Born and raised in Calcutta, eventually moving to the United States, but still traveling all over the world. I mean, even today you're in Thailand. So it's really great that we're still able to have this conversation. So welcome today, Rajashree. I'm really blessed to have you here today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm very
So
happy to be here.
yeah. So one of the things that I really like about you is that um, you're about being happy and joyful as much as possible. And you titled this conversation days to be kind and happy in your everyday life. And I really liked it when I heard that you said that that was really the topic you wanted to talk about. So can you tell the listener a little bit about what that means to you and maybe some ideas that they can use as well?
Yes, the first thing I have to say how I grew up. Every morning when I wake up, I had to pray.
Mm.
And when I pray with my grandmother, the first thing my grandmother always said, be thankful and just be kind. And that's totally, from that day until now, I just hear her voice saying to me when I wake up that be kind and be thankful. So if what does that mean to me in my life right now? Every day in life, we can expect everything will be perfect. Everybody's life, something new happen. And you never know today something is perfect and tomorrow it will change. And we cannot plan our future all the time. We try to be everything perfect, but if we constantly looking for perfection, perfection come from perfection or perfect.
Yeah.
So we need to know that. And our study from Bhagavad Gita taught us that.
Mhm.
So we always in India, that's what they first said, that be ready. Every moment is something that you will experience. But one thing you must know, live for that moment and be kind to yourself. If you be kind to yourself, you will be kind to others.
Mhm.
Because many time be kind because we expect so much from our life, but we forget how we started.
Mhm.
Like I did not started my life journey how my children started,
Mhm.
because we they are born and raised in the United States. They have certain way of lifestyles. I was started my life from India. So for me it was a big move when I moved to Los Angeles and started living life in United States, but foundation from India. How much adjustment I had to do. It was very hard, and but I choose to do that. And when I choose to do that, I can be hard and constantly thinking about it. Oh, why I was not born and raised here, I would be easily. I'm just giving such examples. All
Mhm.
of us in life, we expect something that we want to achieve or we want to get, feels like it should be granted to us. Why not? I'm so good, I'm so, better than others. This kind of attitude in life, it's never we can be happy, and we are not cannot be kind to ourselves. We expect so much from ourselves, and you get tired, you get constantly just adjustment. You just kind lose yourself. Sometimes you put so much multitask on yourself that you get tired. So some people are great doing multitasking, but you can't be master of everything. So you need to choose that and be kind what you're doing. Enjoy,
Yeah.
love it, be passionate about it, and put the effort to learn and achieve that. And then if something else, you move on. This is what I call about be kind and live life with a happily what you get. Because I can dream of having palace, but if I'm in a hut and I'm looking for palace, I have a ladder to, you know, I have to make those steps. But can complain and I can be unhappy. But if I make one grade higher or 1 feet higher, I should be happy. So we all need to look for what were our, what was our belongings, how we came, and be happy.
Well, let me ask you a question. And, you know, I do this myself. I see other people do this or talk about it. And then, like, when I'm teaching yoga, it's part of it too. It's like, especially as adults, when we go to the yoga mat, part of the practice is about being present and, not thinking so much about the past and so much about the future, but at the moment, just being on the mat and being present. And I find that at least when I do that, and not just on the mat, but in everyday life, taking that practice everywhere, is that there's a tendency to be happier because I'm not, worried about the future or you know, resentful about something from the past. Does that make sense from what you're talking about?
100%, 100%, because I will tell you something. I experienced until now in my life the two things we always worry about in life, that is called love and future.
Mhm.
It's a fact. We
Yeah.
all worry about future. We can't enjoy the moment now, present, and we all trying to find the love. And that's love we always worry about, to finding the love in outside of us, and with our relationship, with our work, from our life. We never happy because we don't find the perfect love. And if you can you can be kind and start living life every day happy. So when you wake up in the morning, when you do the prayer, if you have a gratitude and you be thankful for the life you live, and we don't even think that we wake up in we have a roof above our head, we have a food on the plate, but we're still looking for something else. But that's the primary living, and that's where our life, we need to think. And it doesn't need to worry, doesn't need to be thinking what I did a mistake, where is my happiness will come, who is next to you. Sometimes you maybe wake up yourself, but if you wake up happy, you will find yourself, like when you go out there, that happiness you will be able to share with others. And if you practice kindness to yourself, not to be hard on yourself all the time, it's become in your vein, in your system, that you have a way to relate with other, because that the relatedness with others, where you can build the relationship, and that is called loving way or kindness in love.
Yeah.
That's very important to understand. But we get so um, upset with ourselves when we try to get something and we are not able to get it.
Yeah.
But instead of forget it, and that's why a lot of time I say, just go out that time, go out, leave it. If you are trying too hard at not getting it, we may not knowing it that we have it or we don't need it.
Yeah.
So just go out there, walk, you will see the moment will pass.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about, like how breathing like helps, like how we
Breathing
can
helps, yeah.
incorporate that?
Because that's something I am noticing while I'm teaching all the time. Everyone have a problem with breath. All of us. When you are in stress, when you are, even that's where you learn. It's not physical problem, even the mental issues or some problem with something that you are very stressful, you are worried. I'm talking about even the when you are really sick, even that affects your breath.
Mhm.
So what that's why they check the pulse and all this, the doctors, when you go, you will see that rapid breath. So you will see many times in life that breathing is something that you can control your own stress, because most of the time we are breathing, because the day we born we always breathe
Mhm.
and we have to breathe. How you're breathing, is your breathing is effortless, or are you putting effort in your breathing? The time we start putting effort on the breathing, and that's the time we need to really think of it. Even that's why I always say is even all kind of state of mind when we changes with anger to the sadness to the depression to the excitement, you will see breathing will be different, because the breath is the way, that's the prana, the life force. It and breath, breathing, that is the breathing, but the breath is the life force, where we actually put the pressure, we put the threshold, how we go through in life. The threshold is our life force carries. If we are very light, we are very happy, our life force are very calm, very peaceful, we are not stressed, it's not stressful breathing. And so, how you reverse that, how you revert it? The only way to reverse and revert, if you have a full control of your breath, if you have awareness, that's why I call mindful breathing. Even I tell you, wake up when you have first bite of your fruits or any bread or anything. If you breathe while you're eating, a lot of people you will see that they don't even breathe between the bites, and immediately they start hiccup or they need to drink water because they are gasping because of they just did not have the time to breathe to take the next bite.
Mm.
So every moment we are breathing, but the breathing affect every moment whatever we do, eating to the work to bringing the stress in life, creating the stress free life. If we focus on the breath, how we doing it? Even I see some of the students in the class, as soon as I say, are you breathing? Because I see they are trying, they are really struggling in the class. And when they struggle, they just don't know that fraction of a second they stop breathing, because they think I can put force into my practice, or I can hold my posture better if I stop breathing. But actually doesn't happen that. Actually that have a reverse effect. But if you can deep breath, and if you take inhale and exhale longer, so you will see that you can really, really help yourself to be in the postures better than when you are holding your breath. But that's called mindfulness. Because if you are not mindful, you are stopping the function of the breathing the way supposed to be the breath, work.
Right.
So I always say, every time you are experiencing stress, struggle, crisis, risk, pain, unhappiness, or even a excitement. I am not saying the joy. Joy is something that you find peaceful happiness,
Yeah.
but sometimes excitement. Just breathe.
Yeah.
Then you will never do anything irrational. It will be all controlled,
Yeah.
and you will find relaxation.
So I have a thought, because the breathing's so important. the breathing helps us calm our mind, and like meditation helps us calm our mind too. And so like, I find that like even like a lot of students, just like what you said, they start to struggle in the postures because they're not breathing. And at the same time, they're not breathing because their mind's not calm. So how does like the idea of calming the mind and instilling the mind in the meditation integrate with all that?
I will say that people always say, I don't know how to meditate.
Mhm.
I said, you will never know how to meditate unless you start meditating, because you learn to meditate by meditating.
Mhm.
And they feel like, oh my God, how you meditate, where you put attention to your meditation. Because they try to find very hard because they're maybe eyes closed, they feel like, oh, okay, I'm very afraid if my eyes closed, they feel kind of like insecure. I said, keep your eyes open, meditate on the spot or something you find. If you keep your eyes closed, have something that you are grounded to hold, touch something that you feel like you're connected to the art, or you connected to something that you can hang on to or hold on to, or listen to music. Just be still. The stillness is all about the first stage of meditating.
Mhm.
Meditation, the first tool. Be still, silent. Don't talk. Just be still and silence. When they still and silence, a lot of human have a problem with it. They can't be still
Right.
and not, non-stop. You don't have to talk by talking. You can still be silent. Silence means stop thinking.
Mm.
And even if you are not speaking, most of the time our minds still operate to create thoughts.
Yeah.
That's why in the meditation, you try to keep your eyes closed. The reason of eyes closed, because closing eyes can disconnect
Yeah.
all the senses. We're absorbing all this knowledge and information to our brain. But at the same time, when you stop that, you close it, but brains can still function,
Yeah.
worrying about it, planning about it, keeping diary, what I need to do. But how do you get out of that? You focus on breath again. You learn to breathe during that still and be silent. So when you are focused on breathing and you start seeing yourself that, wow, I didn't know how to do meditating,
Mm.
but I learned meditation by meditating.
Mm.
So that's why in my retreat, I always try to encourage people every day. Just close your eyes, be still first. Be still, sit straight, be still. And then many of us, we have, issues that my hips hurt, I can't sit straight, my ankle hurts, my knee. I made it easier for cushioning and everything. Get comfort, that's fine. But be still. And as soon as that stillness start coming in, then the asanas is happening, posture, because meditation is also coming mind through the physical body, who is a still postures.
Yeah.
As soon as the stillness comes and you focus on breath, you start seeing yourself that you breathing ease position at ease. So it's a comfort level, and discomfort, it's become all together being comfort. There is no discomfort. If that goes away,
Yeah.
as soon as discomfort goes away, you start focusing on your breath. In mind, cluttering mind becomes still mind.
Let me ask you a little bit about um, technique. There's some people say, well, you need to sit an hour a day every day as soon as you get up in the morning. And some say the middle of the day, somebody I know came up with something called 3 by 3 meditation, where they meditate 3 times a day for 3 minutes. And is meditation kind of finding your own what works for you, or is a particular technique, sitting for 20 minutes in the morning or an hour, whatever it might be, or does it kind of just organically grow for each person?
I think it's organically grow because I don't put stress on people finding the time, because today I'm giving you guidance that or saying do as soon as you wake up in the morning and do it. It's a good time to do it, because if you can, but you may have that day the most busy day, and you have running around little kids, you have to fix their breakfast or you have to feed them. How am I going to ask that mother wake up in 3 in the morning to do that? Every baby wake up very early morning to get, it's just, that's why I just say, I'm just taking, giving the example of the most difficult, because it's meditation is something that I practice myself anytime I feel I need to, because I have a practice every morning to do it. But when I travel, that is must for me, that anytime I feel that I am not feeling comfortable with myself, in my uncomfortable feelings, when I feel like heavy breathing or I'm stressing out for something that I have to give a speech that I'm not able to write that properly, or I'm too exhausted, but my exhaustion goes away as soon as I meditate.
Yeah.
Because from the meditation and 5 or 10 minutes, a little bit stretching, it will find me more relaxation. And when I can take maybe 5 or 10 minutes nap after that, I'm awake.
Yeah.
I don't need, my jet lag is gone. Like I have trying to use that for myself, and I'm happy that I'm sharing this, because meditation you can do anytime you want. But if you have a particular routine that you do, wake up in the morning and before go to bed, very great. It's no problem. It's if you can find that time. But does it have to be always 1 hour long or 10 minutes? Can you go faster into the deep meditative moment in 10 minutes? If 10 minutes you are mastering your own meditation skill, do it. And someday I remember it takes me hour to find that space.
Yeah.
So that day I give myself more freedom. Yeah. And allow myself to take the space.
Yeah.
So it's all about spacing in your life, how you use that moment.
I will often, like, I'll practice my yoga around noon sometimes, and it seems like, because I get up pretty early, I work pretty diligently right now, and by the time that noon comes around, I feel like I need to calm my mind. So I'll get there early. I'll lie in Savasana for 15 or 20 minutes before. I'll do my practice. I'll come home, have a quiet lunch, and then, it might be 2 or 2.5 hours in there, but then I'm really restored for the rest of the day. So that, like, break in the middle of the day, it's like whatever has happened before then, it's like all that stuff goes on the whiteboard and gets all wiped off through that noontime break. And then when I'm ready to go in the afternoon, it's like nice and clean again. I feel refreshed. And is that something that you find for yourself or for other people? Or?
Yeah, other people I heard, but
Yeah.
I find for myself, if I do everything in the morning, wake up, because I'm very early riser from my very early age of my life. Because I told you my family's culture was that 4 in the morning, my grandmother used to wake up, 5 o'clock, my mother used to wake up, and I was waking up like maybe half an hour later, and I hear the bells for their prayers. So I sit there and wash my face, and I sit there and praying with them, and then I have to go I start my day. That's where my childhood was. So now even I cannot sleep before sunrise. I had to get up.
Yeah.
And when I had get up, and then the first thing I like to do, that meditation. I drink a lots of water and then I just meditate because I enjoy that moment, be with myself because not whole world hasn't wake up yet or are surrounding me. And the only people, only you hear the birds singing, that's a
Yeah.
beautiful moment for me because they always scream in the morning.
Yeah.
So they wake up with me and I enjoy meditation. And
Yeah.
then now I'm in Thailand and I'm in the classes going on in the early morning. I love to do morning classes always. I practice morning. Even body doesn't move very much, but it's still for me. I enjoy the morning practice because I
Yeah.
feel my day is set from that.
Yeah.
But morning I do, my energy is really balanced, harmonious, and I find very peace within.
Yeah. Yeah. We're really coming to the end of our time, but I would love to um, have a longer conversation at some point because, I mean, we could talk about these ideas really all day long. But it would be great to have you back again and maybe dive a little bit deeper too. And like, I know about like you're like the idea of writing in a journal and, maybe some kind of service with other people. There's so many different ideas that we can explore. And if you're
Yeah,
willing to do
journal
that, it'd
is,
be great to have you back.
yeah, I encourage everybody to write a journal.
Yeah. And I also want to thank you too with our book within um, to forward the book and to really lead off the conversation that we're having and that we're building and the idea about being kind and happy. That's part of the reason for the book, is to open up conversations and connect deeper at a deeper level with each other. There is so much going on in the world, and the more kind and happy we can be in our everyday life,
We
you know,
can be healthy.
yeah,
When you are be kind, you practice that as a mantra, like a be kind and happy.
yeah,
That's it become your part of daily life mantra. You can be healthy.
yeah,
And if that healthiness comes in mind first, then it goes to your body, then you can be healthy.
yeah. This is another long conversation or longer conversation that I've over my life, the one or the two words that really have stuck out in my life that different people have said at different times is don't worry about it. And it's that worry that gets me sick and all that. Um, don't worry about, forget about it, just live your life. Be kind and happy.
You
So
know, your questions, one thing I want to say the last, that what India has taught me about life. Now I see, because I'm living part of my life in the Western world, more time in my life, Western world, and keep going back to the Eastern life because visiting family members, but not living all the time. The austerity, the minimalistic living.
mm,
And that is something also next time, next topic we can carry on.
mm, I like that. So again, to all, to everybody's listening to this and to um, tell other people about it, tell your friends about this conversation with Rajashree and have them come and listen as well. And whatever you're doing out there in the world today, all the listeners here, it's like, perhaps consider what Rajashree is saying and being kind and happy in your everyday life, really no matter what. And perhaps I've heard it said that happiness is the highest spiritual calling you can have. And it's perhaps, it's a challenge, yet it's a practice. So thank you again, Rajashree. I'm blessed to have you in my life and to have you here.
Thank you. You too. Same.
Thanks.
Thank you.